I have a question for you today. What kind of departure will you have? In 2 Timothy 4, Paul writes to Timothy and he tells him some things about Paul's end of his life. He says, "For I am already being poured out like a drink offering, and the time has come for my departure. I have fought the good fight, and I have finished the race. I have kept the faith." Paul looks at death and in the face, and he says, "I'm ready. I'm already being poured out like a drink offering." A drink offering was a type of sacrifice. Both the Old Testament Jews and their pagan counterparts were familiar with this drink offering. A worshiper would approach the altar of hot coals with a goblet of wine as a prayer or a special vow, and he spoke about what was about to happen. He would take that offering and he would pour it over the coals. The wine would instantly be evaporated and giving off a cloud of smoke and a sweet, rich fragrance in the air. The Romans often ended a meal or a banquet with such an offering. It marked the time to move on, and a pouring out of the last goblet symbolized giving all that you have to God. This is how Paul viewed his coming death. It is as if he was saying, the day is ended. It's time to go, and my life must be poured out as a sacrifice to God. His executioners might think that they are taking his life, but Paul viewed his death as an offering that he was giving to God. He knew his death was close at hand, and he was on death row in Rome, and he would never be set free. It was Paul's way of saying, "Don't weep for me, Timothy. Know this, when I die, I will be smiling." Paul had already given everything to Jesus. The only thing that was left to give was his life, and that he was giving that gladly and giving it freely. Paul then wrote, "The time has come for my departure." This word departure has 4 word pictures behind it. For example, it was a term that sailors used for casting off the lines of a ship at a dock. It was setting that ship free. It was also a military term. When the soldiers broke camp and moved on, this was the word that was used to describe taking down and folding up their tents. They were ready to go to battle. It was also used in the court system. When a prisoner was set free, the word that they used for that departure described their release. Finally, the 4th description of this word was an action involved at the end of the day when a farmer had come back to the farm and he was ready to be done for the day. He took off the yoke off of that ox that had been plowing all day and put it to rest, put it back in the shelter. Was Paul afraid to die? Not at all. He viewed his death simply being set free and going home to be with his Lord. How about you, church? Do you have the same confidence about your own death?